So around America right now, community colleges are becoming more and more accepted, and a lot more kids are starting to go down that path, going to a 2-year public college, grabbing that associate's degree, and either moving on with their life or getting their bachelor's. And personally, while in high school, I've attended a community college, and I will be graduating with my associate's degree this year. And along the way, I've picked up a couple things about community colleges. Now, the one near me, Brookdale Community College, is known to be one of the better community colleges, I'm pretty sure nationwide. So obviously, this is all going to vary from person to person, place to place. I've done a little bit of research online, but for the most part, this is personal opinion. So I'm going to go over the pros and cons of community college and who does it fit, who's the right person to go there. My name is Bianchi. This is Define Wisdom. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All of that stuff helps out down below, and it helps get my channel off the ground, guys. I'm a third of the way to my end of summer goal. I want 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, so help me get there. Thank you very much, and let's get into the video. And the first pro is, of course, the more you learn, the more you earn. As much as I can sit here and criticize the university system and say that college isn't for everyone nowadays, I can't deny the statistics that the more educated you are, the more likely you are to earn a high income. This applies to getting an associate's degree over just getting a high school degree as much as it does getting a bachelor's degree over an associate's degree. So it's something to keep in mind. If you're going a more traditional route, it might wind up helping out. In my skepticism, I'd say that from the research I've done, job markets might be shifting away from caring about the degree as much. But in the end of the day, brute statistics, yeah, you're probably going to make more money in the long term if you have an associate's degree, and it doesn't cost too much, so you're probably going to make that money back overall. And keeping in with how cheap it is a really efficient way to get the first 2 years of your college prerequisite classes out of the way. If you want to transfer to a 4-year university and attain your bachelor's degree, but you want to do it in the most fiscally responsible way, then staying home at your parents' house and getting your 2-year degree from a community college, it's the cheapest way to go, short of getting a scholarship or having your parents pay for it, that is. There's really no way around that. If money is the goal, you want to save money, you're willing to forego some of the college experience, then community college might be for you. Personally, I don't really care about the college experience, at all. I just don't think it's for me. I can argue with my mom about whether or not it's going to be for me all day, every day, but that's that. And you might be in a similar situation. Maybe you don't want to dorm, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you want to work while you're there, and you want a lighter class load because community college classes are most of the time going to be easier or more flexible. Professors who are more forgiving to their students, who some of whom might be a 30-year-old single mom or a 50-year-old union worker trying to get his degree for some requirement in the union. Who knows? There's just a more diverse portfolio of people taking those classes, and they tend to be more lenient with the rules. And just as you can get those prerequisites out of the way, you can also use it to experiment different classes. When it's going to be a lot cheaper per credit, you might be able to take an off class that you wouldn't be able to afford at a university to figure out, you know what, I'll take this intro to philosophy class. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I'll appreciate the material, maybe my professor will be able to point me in a good direction, and I wind up majoring in philosophy where otherwise you would have been sociology, anthropology, who knows. It's a good time to experiment, especially at that age where you're out of high school, your life is a little less structured, you're going to get to know yourself better, you're going to be open and experience new things. It's a good time to experiment with your class load too. A lot cheaper than you could at a university with a lot less commitment. At a university, it's this is my major track. I want that major. These are the classes I have to take to get there. Oh, you want to switch your major after the first semester? Only the first semester? Oh, that sucks. You're going to have to stay another year at this college. $40,000 in 365 days down the drain. That's probably not going to happen at a community college. So again, flexibility, budget, and experience is all there, but with that experience, you kind of get what you put into it, and that's both a pro and a con. So the vibe I've gotten from both my community college and talking to people who have gone to other ones around me is that there might be all these awesome programs, there might be all these awesome tours, and people to meet, and internships, and things like that, but there's no structure with like a guidance counselor holding your hand through it. There's no dorm room when everyone is talking about everything. You're gonna hear about different things going on. You really need to put the effort in. You need to figure out what your community college offers. You need to figure out how to get in touch with the person that runs it. You need to put yourself in the right place, and you're less likely to just stumble into a good program or club than you might be at a big university where they have the structure and money to kind of force things onto you. It's just something to keep in mind. I know at my Brookdale Community College, they have a bunch of awesome programs. I haven't personally partaken in any of them, but I've heard good things. And if you put yourself there, then awesome, good for you. But if somebody isn't as naturally inclined to be a go-getter and go put that effort in, they might not get the benefit. But that's really a decision for them to make. Maybe they just don't want it, and that's fine. And then moving into the cons section, this is where it's going to vary a lot person to person, because the first point here is it's really easy to become disinterested with your workload. It's kind of a trend that I've seen where people say, all right, I'll go to the community colleges, 2 years, no big deal, get that, move on to a bachelor's or get out. And then they take a semester, they go 2 semesters, and they just hate it, like really, really hate it. And I think there's a few reasons for this, but let's go with the one that particularly affects the community college, and that is that you're not necessarily getting the same quality of education. And in the same way that I mentioned before, that you have to go out and reach your opportunities, no one is holding your hand. So if you need someone to hold your hand, you might burn yourself out, you might become disinterested, and you might fall off the wagon. There is a lower graduation rate with associate's degrees. Another reason for this might be the people that go there. If you're going to a community college instead of a 4-year degree, but another reason might be just the people that go there. If you're going to a university but another reason might just be the people that go there. If you go to a community college, then maybe it's because you're buying yourself time to not go to a 4-year school because you don't want to go there in the first place. Or you're kind of just testing the waters, and you might decide to jump off and say, you know what, I knew school wasn't for me, so it's not for me. I'm out of here, without accumulating nearly as much debt to only not get a degree. Different people are going to community college, and I think they might be more naturally inclined to burn out and become disinterested in the education. But I gotta mention that it's not the same quality of education, it's not the same quality of professors, maybe not the same quality of building. Like you do in the slightest possible way get a little bit better stuff by throwing more money. Now the value proposition there, is it worth the money you're paying? That's totally different, but universities are nicer because when you tack $10,000 a year next to $50,000 a year, it's a lot of money. I mentioned early in the video the odd crowd that leads to a leniency in the classes, with the single moms or the construction workers, the older individuals, the elderly women who are perfectly nice, but they're just there to they're bored, it's a cheap class, they like learning, which is awesome. But you're not going to be surrounded by a bunch of frat guys. Often there's no Greek life, there's no foundation of kids, walking the campus together as much as there is, again, at a normal 4-year school. So not only are you forgoing the college experience, but you are also opening yourself up to a slightly weirder crowd of kids that aren't your age. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. In fact, I kind of find it really interesting. You get a lot of different people, perspectives. You can introduce yourself and meet them. But for the kids who kind of want to stay in that classroom environment with people similar to them, similar to their age and interests, then they might be a little bit blindsided by the lack of that. Not to mention the fact that different personality types wind up at a community college, so when you throw the really hard worker who just couldn't afford the 4-year school next to the kid who's barely interested but just going to check the college box, of course you're going to get that at every school. I'd argue it might be a little bit amplified at a community college. And in that same route, you're not getting the college experience. Place whatever value you want on the college experience. Personally, I think it's for fun, not for meeting people and connections and, long term, you're gonna appreciate the people that you met in your fraternity. You can make friends at work too. You're gonna meet people no matter what you do. So it's just something to keep in mind. You are probably going to meet less people, and I know in certain universities they kind of have the pro of you go on LinkedIn, you search the school that you go to with the industry that you're interested in, you find a bunch of alumni, you contact all of them, you say, hey, I'm a Seton Hall alum, I would love to intern for you, like here's the value I provide for you, all that jazz. Then that's a gateway in just saying that you're an alumni of a more prestigious university. But if you're looking at an associate's degree, if you're looking at a community college, chances are you're not particularly interested in those anyways, unless you're like me and you're really weighing all your options, in which case, good for you. You're going to do more research in this video, and I'm sure you're going to come up with your own list of pros and cons. So guys, what did you think of this video? It was a little more ad-lib, a little bit shorter. I don't know exactly how it'll come out post-production, but yeah, that's going to be it. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. Even if you just subscribe and then like ignore my thumbnails and videos in your subscription feed, like that's fine. You're under no obligation to watch my videos, but you can help me with the number, right? That's a bad mentality. I should care about more than the numbers. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Peace.